Welcome. Are we there? Are we live? We are there. We are live. And I have no monitor at all tonight. This has been a very interesting day. We were expecting storms. It doesn't look like we're getting any storms right now. I am joined here. We have a couple of friends on the patio, including Jeremiah. And Jeremiah was a bullfrog, and he was a good friend of mine. And never really worried about a thing he said. But he is croaking, so we're going to pray for him so that he doesn't die. And but he is just croaking away. This is a lovelorn bullfrog looking for a mate. So if you know anybody who looking for a bullfrog boyfriend, there's one right here on the patio looking for a little um what do you call a female bullfrog? A heifer frog, and I've got a couple other people here. So there's a bullfrog on the patio. Welcome to the Underground Gospel Show. Thank you. This is episode 46, even though there was a couple of them that we did do it. Let me explain why real quick before we get into any of the housekeeping stuff. Last week, I was at the Chet Atkins Appreciation Society. Thank you, all the people who were turning in from Chet Atkins. It was a great time. I got my clock cleaned by some of the best players in the world. And, it just makes me want to up my game. That's all there is to it. Being around these people, what a blessing and a benefit. Now, something happened. I went to the B room. I'll tell you a quick little story. Went to the B room where I watched the first guy. It was intro to thumb picking, and I learned a lot. So much great information. Been working on it all week since I came back. But then the second guy came up, and they didn't have a sound guy in that room. They had nobody running sound. And so they were basically, he struggled so hard, and they tried to get stuff up. And I'm like, look, I paid a couple of car payments to be here. I'm here as an attendee. I'm not working this event. I'm not going to work this event. I'm not going to work this event. And I sat there and I watched him, and he got about 15 minutes of actual playing time in his hour and a half. It was horrible. And then he was done, and the next guy was coming up, and they were about to repeat the whole event again. And I couldn't stand it anymore. If you have a natural talent, if you have an ability and you don't use it, that's kind of a sin against your creator. And I'm sitting there going, there's no way that I can sit here knowing what I know and not help. So I jumped up there and I walked up. I said, guys, look, I'm not the sound man for this room. I'm not the sound man for this company. I've never even seen this gear before. It's new QSC amps and speakers, which I know of. I've worked with them, but not this particular model. And the board looked more like an etch a sketch. And I'm like, okay, I've never seen this board either, but let me see if I can help. Needless to say, 5 minutes later, the third guy was up and running. I mean, it was a piece of cake. And I inherited that room and helped everybody else for the rest of the day. At the end of the event, every one of the major players, I mean, and some of the minor players, I mean, Josh Taylor, great guitar players. There was Joe, his name, I'm drawing a blank right now, John Knowles, Tommy Emmanuel, and they were like, hey, Art, this and that. Hey, we're going to go get something to eat. Want to come along with us? It was just amazing camaraderie I had with some of the best guitar players in the world. Now, Chet Atkins was known as Mr. Guitar, and I seem to be known as Mr. Soundman. And you know what? For right now, I'm okay with that, but I'm going to get a lot better at playing guitar. I can tell you that. That's one of my goals, actually, is to get a lot better at playing guitar. I have a couple other stories that I want to share with you tonight, but that was the first one. Get out of the way. Now to get on to the housekeeping things. This is a safe place, the Underground Gospel Show. There's no swearing, there's no trolling in the chat rooms. If you want to talk to people in the chat rooms, that's great. Welcome everybody here on Twitch, everybody here on Facebook, everybody here on YouTube. And if you like what you see, remember to subscribe. I guess they have ways you can send me tokens and coins, and thank you for the people on Twitch that have sent them. I did get my $1.08, so yay. I don't know how much that actually was. We are, like I said, on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And there is a tip code that might pop up tonight If not, you can go to my website at night-music.com. In fact, let me run that right now as the very bottom here. Let's get rid of that. Put this up here. Let's go over here. Sorry that I have to. Once again, yeah, here's nightmusic.com. So you can go there if you need to. And all the information, you can buy me a cup of coffee and buy me a new guitar. I'm looking for a new guitar. My birthday's on Tuesday, and hey, it might be you sending it to me. That's great. Go to Night Music. You can also find show times and links and garments and lyrics, and you can contact me by email. You get the live show information, how to support me monthly for about a cup of coffee. I don't sing so that God can speak directly to your heart. There's also sponsorship opportunities if you'd like to sponsor a show. That talk to me about that. And if you'd like me to come to your city, your church, or your event, I'll be glad to do that. There's some bookings that we're doing later on, and we're going to be. It looks like there's going to be another weekly event that happens every Sunday morning, somewhere up in Nashville. That let's just say millions of people pass through every single year. So we're praying for that one. That should be a good thing. Anyway, so what else do I have going on? That's it for right now. Let's I think I've chit chatted enough. We got everything going on here. Hi guys. I'm so glad you've tuned in. Thank you so much. Anyway, so this song here is one that coming on the new. I've been in the studio since Thursday. Been working in the studio and recording some new songs here at the Technology Engagement Center in Murfreesboro, and I'll be here for another 2 weeks recording the rest of the songs, which I'm going to call playlists. Since Amazon won't let me build a playlist, they'll only let me upload an album. I'm going to name my album playlist, and so I win. Anyway, this is called God of Wonders. Actually, they'll probably kick me off and then they win because let's face it, they're Amazon. But bottom line is, I'm going to try to win. And Twitch, I know you're owned by Amazon, so please don't kick me off. I really am a nice guy. Anyway, this is called God of Wonders. And probably going to get a strike for this one, but I'm not singing it, so hopefully they won't know the melody. Okay, God of Wonders. Still need a little work on that one. I was able to do it in the studio, but in the studio you can punch in and punch out, and so probably shouldn't have told you that. It'd be great to say that I played it all the way straight through perfectly, which I've done at about a quarter rate a couple of times. But when I bring it up to speed, sometimes in the bridge or sometimes in the chorus, I hit a jazz lick. There, I wouldn't say I hit a wrong note because everything I hit was absolutely intentional. But next time it'll be intentionally at a different place. Anyway, so I'm going to go back to one that you've heard before. Now they had an open mic night at the Chet Atkins Festival, and every morning I got to play in front of some of the most astounding, amazing players on the planet, and so that was really kind of a blessing. And this is one of the ones I did. Yes, it is well with my soul. Ah, okay, got through that one. I'm going to do another one from the older set, and then we'll go into some newer stuff again too. So, let's see. Was there a story? There was a story that I was going to tell you guys today, and it was about tools because I've had women in my life who are like, I don't know what to get you for your birthday, for Christmas, for because you seem to be able to get anything, which is true. I'm blessed and favored by God, abundantly, generously blessed and favored by God. In fact, my blessings overflow into other people, which is kind of a good thing. I mean, I feel that abundance is something. It's a value trait that I have enjoyed being able to have in my life. Um, and I don't take it for granted, or maybe I do take it for granted. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a taker or a giver, but I do love being able to, give to people, and from the abundance that is given to me. So maybe I take from God and give to others. I don't know how that works. Bottom line is, I was in Africa about 10 years ago, and I was at an orphanage working. And one of the papas at the orphanage came up to me and said, "Hey, can you take a look at the computers because my computers aren't working?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll take a look." So I turned it on and immediately saw it was a memory error. I'm like, "You dropped this, didn't you?" And he's like, Yeah, maybe it fell off my table and it hasn't worked since. I'm like, it's no problem. It's just reseating the memory. It'll take me literally seconds to fix. I said, all I need is a screwdriver. He goes, okay, I'll be right back. And he came out with an awl and a stick. And I don't know if you know what an awl is, but an awl is, it looks like an ice pick. It's just a long thing, and you use it to make holes in walls and whatever, and seat studs. Anyway, but this one had been used to bang concrete and separate. I mean, and it was so, it wasn't straight. It was all, it was like a hammer that had been used to hammer concrete. I mean, it was just, it was horrible looking. And he had a stick. And he said, well, sometimes if you use the stick really hard, these sticks are really, difficult, and you can put them in and you can get the screw out. And I'm just like, you want me to open your computer with a stick? I tried. It was a fail. Didn't work. So the computer didn't work. Needless to say, about 2 months later, a friend of mine who was on the trip with me, Carol, was going out with her daughter, and I believe her name was April. And but Carol was going out to Africa, and I said, "Hey, Carol, here's the deal. I'm going to give you some money. Would you please buy a tool set? Just go to Pep Boys, go to Home Depot, go someplace and get. Maybe I shouldn't be name dropping here, but just get like a 64 piece or a 100 piece multi tool set and take it out with you." And she's like, "Art, we can't do it. We are full of diapers for the orphanage. We're full of mosquito netting. My daughter raised enough money to take out one of these, play gyms, like the human habit trail type things." And she goes, "We're going to be building that while we're out there, and we just don't have room for anything else." I'm like, "Well, if something happens, just let me know." The day before she was supposed to leave, I get a phone call. She's like, "Art, you must be abundantly, generously blessed and favored." Because my daughter, God bless her heart, which is something you say in the South, which isn't really a good thing. She said she lost her passport. We're leaving tomorrow. So I had to call the passport office, and they're overnighting me a new passport. But the bottom line is, we're not going to make the jet. We're not going to make the plane. So we get to send our stuff over in our empty seats, and they're going to take care of it when they get over there, but we're going to take a plane tomorrow, so we have room for three more bags. So I'll send my husband out to get, what do you need? And I said, well, I just need a set of 64 100 set. It's the kind of tool set that you open up. Dudes know what it is, women might not. So if you ever want to get this for your dude, go to like a Pep Boys or a Home Depot or a Lowe's and say, I need a multi-piece tool set in a folding case. Anybody working there will know what it is. Anyway, so she bought them, and she took one to Africa, and she wrapped it up. And so she went in there. She said, "This is a gift from Azunga Shamakola." So my name in Uganda is Shamakola. I won't get into it. It means a person who brings understanding to the people. But anyway, so she goes and she said, "This is from Papa Art from Shamakola." And so they opened it up, and all the men, there was like 6 men in the room, and so she opened it up, or they opened it up, the Papa of the orphanage, and he opened it up, and all the guys just went, big white round eyes, and they grabbed a tool and they ran out of the house, and they went and fixed something. They fixed a plumbing fixture, they fixed a light, they fixed a whatever it was. Everybody had something that was bugging the heck out of them, but they didn't have the tool to fix it. So then they would run back and they would gently put it back in the box. Then they grab another tool, boom, run out again and fix something else. This went on, she said, for 2 days straight, for 48 straight hours. These guys were running around the orphanage fixing. She goes, Art, I got to tell you, when you said you wanted to send over tools to an orphanage, I'm like, what are the kids going to do with the tools? She goes, but when I saw what these men were able to do when they finally had the right tool, she goes, it was amazing. And I had the opportunity to share that story with somebody today because they needed a tool. And I'm like, well, you got to have the right tool to do the right job. And I said, let me tell you a little story about tools. And I thought, what I'm going to do is tonight I'm going to tell that story on the Underground Gospel Show, because somebody out there might be wondering, what do I do next? Well, what you do next is you go find the tool you need. Okay. And it might be an inspirational book. It might be an inspirational chapter. It might be reading a proverb a day for a month, 31 proverbs, 31 days. That's kind of interesting. It might be reading Psalm 31, which is really a good psalm. Come find out. And it might be, I don't know what it is, but somewhere in your life, whatever is broken needs the proper tool. So, what I would do is instead of worrying about the broken thing, focus on what tool you need to fix it. And you have to fix it. Don't wait for anybody else. Don't wait for something coming down from the government. Don't wait for something coming on the news. Don't wait for something from Ronco for, 14.99. Maybe it will be 14.99. I'm not sure. But whatever it is, there's a tool that you need to fix your life. And just keep your heart open for it and look for the tool. Don't worry about the problem anymore, but look for the tool to fix it. Anyway, so that's all I'm going to talk about. And next, I'm going to do a song by Delirious. This is called "Let Everything That Has Breath Praise the Lord." So, yeah, this is one that I used to love. Well, I used to love this song. I do love this song. So anyway, this was written by Martin Stewart, and it's from the late '90s, early 2000s. I hope you enjoy it. Yes, everything that has breath, praise the Lord. You can go ahead and clap if you want to do that. That's like, I got to tell you, the best thing, in my opinion, at the Chet Atkins, not the guitar players, and there were some awesome guitar players, not the fact that I got to get up there and play. And, there's hundreds of people there, and there was like 8 of us at the open mic night, in which, like, okay, why would you come here and be a guitar player and and come all the way up here to watch guitar players, which is great, but spend multiple car payments to get there and drive for hours, which some of these people did, and then not get out there and like, oh, I'm too embarrassed, I'm too ashamed, or I'm just not good enough. Well, trust me, you just saw that, but I went out there and played. But the best part about it was to hear a room full of, I gotta tell you, the first time that I heard applause, the very first guy, the very first set, the very first song, I can't even tell you what that meant to my heart to hear a room full of applause again. It had been a year and a half, guys, since I had heard a room full of applause and live room full of applause. If you're watching me right now and you're not an introvert, because live streaming is great for introverts, it's a beneficial thing for people who don't want to go and be around a lot of people. But if you don't mind going or be around a lot of people, just get out there. Get out there and be around somebody and clap for somebody good, clap for somebody bad, clap for somebody struggling, clap for somebody, period. Just applaud somebody who's out there trying to do something that, is above everybody else who's not. So, and a lot of people spent so much time learning their craft, and they were so good, and it was so wonderful to hear applause again. So, I can't hear applause when you do live streaming, which is a problem. But but I know that if you were here, you'd be clapping. So I have a frog croaking, you know, and I have somebody over here. I think she's writing thank you notes to somebody. But anyway, um, applause was so wonderful. Anyway, so this next song is another one from the '90s. This was a song that, gosh, I love this song so much. I hope you enjoy it too. It's called "Hungry." That wasn't the right note. Ah, yes, and then the crowd goes crazy. We're going to end this one with a let's see. What am I going to end this with? Um, like to end this with a Kleenex, but I don't happen to have one around me. So if you go to my tip page and you know, send me like a cup of coffee, I'll buy some puffs, and I won't be sitting out here in the sweltering heat with a runny nose. I'll be able to take care of that. So, and I don't want to play the screen strings till my fingers dry because I just wiped my nose. Probably more information than you need to know, but hey, you know, we're here to share stuff. You know, in fact, that's why I think that we made it as a human race. If you notice, our skin is really good for holding in really, really, really stinky stuff. And I really feel that we had three things. You know, they say it's our big brains that kept us alive, you know, that made us survive the animal kingdom. Well, I think there's a couple of things. Number one, I think we taste really bad. And I've never tasted a human, but most of the animals that do don't eat the whole thing. They just take a bite or two and just, in fact, they say that you have to develop a taste for human. And that's because, you know, they basically have no taste. So, uh, and the second thing is whenever something attacked us, we tended to band together and kill a whole bunch of them. So if a tiger attacked us, we would kill like all the tigers in 100 miles. If a lion attacked us, we'd kill all the lions. Bears, forget it. You see a bear lately? Nah, I haven't either. Anyway, so basically when things attack human beings, yeah, we just tend to, well, just indiscriminately, well, they don't kill us anymore. In fact, they kind of run away from us because they're like, yeah, these people kill everything. So anyway, um, speaking of which, let's do a song about creatures. The Saint Francis of Assisi song, "All Creatures of Our God and King." Hope you enjoy. Let's see, what did I play the other day? Um, yeah, no, I'm gonna do this song. Concentrating. Yes, all creatures of our God and King. Well, we are joined by more people. I see more and more people logging on, but that's it. It's showtime, folks. We only do this for a half an hour every Friday and Saturday night. I have to apologize for last week. I was at the Chad Atkins Appreciation Society. We did get a live stream, a pre recorded live stream out on Friday night. We were not allowed to do one on Saturday. I'm sorry about that. And last night we weren't able to do the show because our internet went down. We were here on the patio, and we 5 minutes before the show, nothing. Everything died. There was no. I had blue screens on the computer. The phones wouldn't log on to anything. I couldn't get a hotspot up. There was no signal whatsoever anywhere, anywhere. So we didn't do a show. Anyway, so we packed it up and what did we do? What did we do last night? Do you remember? Um, I don't remember either what we did. But anyway, we didn't do a show, but we did a show tonight. So God bless y'all. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you. What is that? I've never seen that before. What does that say? Remove from stream, exit solo layout, and mute. Nope, no, don't want to do any of that stuff. What I do want to do is I want to go ahead and run the title screens and then the thank you screen, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.